You may have heard this passage of Scripture. It's from Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. A pretty familiar passage. It says, "Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Now, when this says God cannot be mocked, it doesn't mean that it's impossible to sneer or laugh contemptuously at God and the truths of God, or maybe even the very idea of God. People can do that. It's a very bad idea to do that, but it's possible for a person to do that type of thing. The idea that God cannot be mocked means that if a person arrogantly dismisses God's truths and just lives in opposition to God, to God's standards of right and wrong, that person is going to find, ultimately, maybe not immediately, but ultimately, they're going to find that there's a price to pay for violating God's ways. We can think of it like this. The way that we live our lives is sort of like planting seeds. We're living life, doing what we do, and we're planting seeds. And this verse is helping us to understand that whatever it is that we plant, by the way that we're living our lives, that's what we're going to reap. So, if a person thinks, I know God says to live this way, but I'm going to violate what God says. I don't care about God and what he says. That person, in a sense, is mocking God. But as the person lives in opposition to God, what's happening then is that person is planting seeds. And if you're living in opposition to God, you're planting seeds of trouble and pain and futility and really great foolishness. We could even say it this way. If you're living in opposition to God, willfully in opposition to God, that person is planting seeds of personal destruction. And see, what's going to happen then? Here's what will happen. The person will reap what he sows. Because God cannot be mocked.